we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Tim Draper says Bitcoin is the currency for the people to give them freedom. And guys, we know better than that. But we know how the billionaires do. They come in with the truth and wiggle in a little lies. But he also told us the truth, that cryptocurrency is going to change banking, governments, commerce, insurance. We know all of it's going to be on blockchain and tokenized. And remember what Andrew Yang said at the beginning of all my videos. It doesn't matter. Doctors, lawyers, truck drivers, call center workers, you're going to be replaced. Because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Well, on Bitcoin specifically, I look and I say Bitcoin represents trust and freedom in a world that is starting to get less of both in the fiat world. And fiat is less trusted because governments are just printing them willy-nilly to just build their own coffers. And this is a great hedge against the inflation you were just talking about that's happening worldwide. And so for investors, I think holding onto Bitcoin is probably a good place to be because there are only 21 million Bitcoin out there, and they represent the freedom that allows us to use them anywhere, and the trust in that it is you're trusting into the software rather than trying to trust into some bank or some government entity.
And we see your Bitcoin tie, so we know, of course, where you stand on that, but you're not wearing an Ethereum tie, right? What about some of the other currencies outside Bitcoin where you're looking at maybe the underlying blockchain technology as a better, open, transparent way?
Sure. Well, some of those also can inflate the way governments can inflate, and so I'm always very careful about that. What I look for is who are the entrepreneurs and who are the engineers behind a given token. I love some of the tokens. I love Tezos because it's got a great engineering team, and they've redefined how to operate a token. They do it as proof of stake. They use less energy, and they have a new form of governance, and that's exciting. Aragon, similarly, is going to redefine how juries work.
Tim, love always chatting with you about Bitcoin, your Bitcoin tie. Talk to us about some of the other underlying blockchain technologies that you've been really interested and investing in as well.
So, as I mentioned, there are a couple of really exciting places where Bitcoin, the blockchain, smart contracts, and all of the technologies around them are going to play a big role in transforming some of the biggest industries in the world. Already we're seeing it in banking. We're going to see it in commerce. We're going to see it in government. We're going to see it in insurance. Speaking of government, it's interesting what's happening in South America. We have a relationship with Cygnus and VCM, where we've worked with Cygnus Draper Cygnus for a long time in Argentina, but clearly a lot of entrepreneurs are moving to Uruguay or to El Salvador because so much great change is happening around South America that we feel like there's a big opportunity there.
But do you feel like the VC crypto world then is in a bubble?
No, not at all. In fact, this is just, it feels like a groundswell. It's slowly but surely just taking over every industry. There will be a moment, I believe, that when I can buy groceries, and which you can in El Salvador now through OpenNode, where you can buy groceries and you can buy your clothes in Bitcoin, all of a sudden there will be no reason to hold fiat currency. Why hold a currency that's subject to the whims of some political force when you can hold a currency where there are only 21 million of them, and it's trusted and it's global and it's open and it's transparent? That is going to be a currency we can all get behind. That's Bitcoin. So I am seeing the beginning. This is just the first inning of one of the biggest groundswells I think we'll ever see in the history of our lives.
What about
NFTs? It's an anthropological leap. I think we're starting to see an anthropological leap. NFTs are great. I think they're building all sorts of creativity. They're starting with the art community. They're making it so that you can own a specific thing in the cloud. You can own a specific thing in the internet. And that can be a piece of art where it's just one of. It can be your identity. I think that's going to be a big breakthrough. I think you're not going to have to use passwords anymore. I think it can be your diploma, your whatever. Yeah. It can be specific to you. And so NFTs, this is the beginning, the art and the games and the Bored Apes. But it's eventually, I think we're going to see some tremendous new technologies coming out of NFTs, and I hope to be able to fund them.
Yeah, so what are some of those new investments and fundings that you're involved in? Are they primarily in Latin America, given they, some would say, are ahead of the US when it comes to cryptocurrencies?
It is interesting. I mean, in Latin America, we've got 3 that have hit unicorn status: Satellogic, Auth0, and Mural. But we have another company called Unstoppable Domains that allows you, you could get Taylor.crypto, and you can put whatever you want on there, and you can make it your wallet for trading crypto, for holding money, for whatever it is you want. You can actually say things on there. You could be Chinese and say free Tibet. You could say, you could be a Syrian and say, I don't like my leader. Anything, because it's unstoppable. It cannot be stopped. And so I think that that's the beginning of free speech around the world. I think it's the beginning of a new world economy where we're all, our wallets and our identities and all of our assets are all interconnected.
We only have
this is going to be we're going to go through this, as I mentioned, an anthropological leap as humans, where the geographic borders mean less and less. Our geographic border leaders mean less and less. And the world opens up, and we become one big, great world economy, and that'll be magic.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.